Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. This is not the Friday Bean. This is not Alpha Q&A. This is not the Late Show with
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Kimmel, Conan O'Brien. What are the...
Some other people that are hardly funny anymore.
David Letterman? I don't know. Is he alive? Is David Letterman alive? Does he still have a show?
I don't follow that stuff. I have no idea. Can you all hear us? Can you see us? How do we look? How do we sound?
Oh, I know I don't look good. My hair is crazy.
I look awful.
You got a nice haircut, and then you're shoving it under a hat.
I didn't friggin' do my hair.
He didn't do his hair. He didn't do it. Hello, guys. Let's see. Stephanie, I was sitting on Facebook waiting, then realized it was on YouTube. Yeah, we don't do these very often where we just hang out. Hello. I'm sure you already need some rest. Yeah, we haven't been getting a whole lot of sleep last few days, but that's to be expected when it comes to launches. So we're here to hang out for a little while. We're going to answer some questions. I figured that this would be a good time for us to both answer questions about HAA for people thinking about joining. If you're a student and you have like a small question, don't ask any crazy questions that like give away course secrets or anything. Save those for the actual Academy Student Campus group. But if you just have like a quick question that you want to ask and you're a student already, you're free to throw those down as well. But I did want to tell you guys that we are having a webinar on Saturday. That's June 20th. The link for that is down below, and it is free. If you're one of those who's kind of worried about joining Handmade Alpha Academy because you don't know what it's going to be like, or you're curious about my teaching style, or you just don't know who I am at all, and you're hanging out for the first time, there's a registration link down below. Register for that webinar. It's going to be relatively long. They usually last around an hour to an hour 45 on the long end, because we do have a Q&A at the end where you guys can ask questions about the content. But that's going to give you a taste of my teaching style. Plus, you guys are going to get some freebies at the end. Everybody gets freebies. I'm like Oprah when it comes to freebies at the end of the webinar. Hey, quiet down.
Sorry about our cat screaming in the background.
She wants babies. And we're getting her spayed as soon as COVID is over. And I know we keep saying that, but we can't get her spayed right now because obvious reasons. Maybe you should take her upstairs
until she darts under the stairs and I try to grab her.
That's true too. She likes to do that as well. But anyway, guys, registration for the webinar is down below. Sign up for that. There's a police siren beside it to make sure that you see it. And also the link for Handmade Alpha Academy with the $1,000 discount and 12 months of eRank Pro is down below as well. For those who already enrolled in Handmade Alpha Academy, if you have not emailed me with your eRank information, I cannot set up your account for you. You have to reply to the email that I sent you that says best day ever as the subject line and send me your eRank info. If you did not receive an email from me after you joined Handmade Alpha Academy, check your spam. If you still can't find it, make sure that you check the email address from whatever payment system you used, whether you use PayPal or credit card. Check that email because that's probably where I sent it. And if you want me to use a different email on your account, just reply to that message and let me know what email you would rather me contact you with.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that we can get your eRank Pro membership set up, and it can't happen automatically. I have to actually do it manually, and I have to know what your email address is linked to that account and your Etsy shop. So that's all there. If you didn't get an email from me and you cannot find one, message me at coach@handmadealphaacademy.com. Only if you're a student. If you're not a student yet and you have questions about Handmade Alpha Academy, email us at starla@handmadealphaacademy.com.
Or post them here.
That's
the whole point.
That's why we're here today. We're hanging out. We're chilling. We're having fun. So let's see. You sound fabulous. Aw. I feel very tired, so that's a good, positive affirmation. Let's see.
You just had to say that. Oh, excuse me.
Oh no, now they're gonna yawn too.
Have fun with the yawns.
Comment if you yawned. David Letterman has a show on Netflix. Does he?
Was born in 1947 and still alive. Man, he's
Oh.
still kicking.
Did you have to look that up, or
Because he's a robot.
did you have to look that up, or do you have a lot of David Letterman facts stored away in your brain? Because both of those,
Some people do.
that would be very interesting.
Some people follow him religiously.
Spontaneous is awesome. Haha, Breck has a nice cut. First thing he went to do.
Just to throw on a hat.
Oh, okay. I was like, nice cut. First thing. I read that all as one part. Let's see. I'm doing some admin stuff for my shop, just hanging out. Turn this on in the background. Oh my God, thank you for saying it was on your end. I thought I had a cat outside my house. I'll need to check. I think I sent mine over. Oh, Monica, you did. I'm like 99.9% sure that you sent it, because I went and looked at. I go look at everybody's shops afterwards. Because
number of viewers is growing. Good,
awesome.
Good. Who's got HAA questions? Get them HAA questions in here.
Yeah.
Or comments.
Or, yeah, if you've got any questions about Handmade Alpha Academy, if you have any random questions, comments, we're just hanging out today. We're chilling. So while we're, you got me. So let's go ahead and go over a couple.
I don't know what that is.
It's a yawn face.
Why did that block that?
I don't know. Maybe thinking that it's spamming it. You're fine, Ginger. For some reason, our system caught you because they thought you were a spam yawner. Stop it.
People keep commenting it. It keeps making me yawn.
We do this thing where if he's yawning in the car, or if I'm yawning, we'll try to make each other laugh mid-yawn so we can't complete our yawn.
It's the most aggravating thing on the planet.
We're left with a very unsatisfying just feeling because we haven't been able to yawn. So, for those who are joining us for the first time, or if you have no idea what Handmade Alpha Academy is, it's my 9-module course that will teach you A to Z how to dominate Etsy. Now, we did have a couple questions that are more common about HAA, so I'll go ahead while we're waiting. Let's see, do you think US market will reduce due to COVID? Yeah, let's.
No. I don't think so.
No, in fact, it's already been confirmed that the way that people shop has changed. There's a really great article on it that Anthony Wolf sent me, but there has been a forever impact on the market because of COVID-19. And what they're saying is people who have never ordered online are making their first purchases. There was this massive poll of several thousand people where they asked them how their online shopping habits have changed and how they're going to change in the future. And most people said that they're going to start buying online a lot of the things that they used to go to stores to buy, because they've realized how much easier it is to place orders online. Yep. So we have just hit.
Not to mention people are still stuck at home in a lot of places.
Yeah. So. We've hit a shift, guys. This is the change. This is the turning point. This holiday season on Etsy, I predict, is going to be crazy. And the last time I made a prediction, if you guys remember, was about, let's see, it was a couple weeks into COVID when our sales all kind of tanked because people weren't shopping online because they were saving money. And I told you guys, I know that nobody's buying anything right now, but I anticipate in the next few weeks, once people get bored, there's going to be a flood. And what happened? There was a flood. Etsy experienced more shoppers than ever before. Proven. There, you can go look up the numbers. You can go to eRank and look up the numbers. Etsy had more people shopping on the platform than ever before, especially for summer. And most sellers said that they experienced Black Friday level sales. Even Anthony Wolf's wife experienced Black Friday level sales. And I mean, we have been doing phenomenally well with our Etsy shop, and I haven't even released products since our last collection went out in December. No, it was for Christmas, so it would have been November, because I've had supply shipments get delayed due to them shipping from overseas, and a lot of my suppliers are kind of on hold. So I can't make new products right now. Thankfully, I had plenty of stock in my shop ready to go, but I'm making sales, and I never have like consistent sales in the summer because we all experience that summer stall. It's a normal thing that happens every summer. There's a summer survival guide PDF down below that I created before COVID because this happens every year. Things slow down. Now, what we are seeing is things are starting to get back to normal. All across Etsy, not just, my shop. Just if you look at the numbers, Etsy is starting to balance back out to normal summer traffic. But at the same time, the traffic is still a little bit more than what it would be like last year. So,
Courtney, the eco hippie, said my sales have been up over 400%. It's been crazy. That's awesome.
Amazing. Stephanie said you will not regret getting the course. It's awesome. I personally love the fact that she's a coach that has an Etsy shop. Yes. Fantastic reply.
The proof's got to be in the pudding. Hannah said she wished you could sign up, just a little too expensive for her at the time. That's totally fine. We'd prefer that you wait. What I always tell people is if you're interested in signing up for the course, it's cheaper to do the one-time payment. Save up what you would be paying the monthly payments for 5 months. If you end up having to use the money, you're not at a loss because you're not handing it to us. And if you... Oh, my brain just fucking...
You said a bad word.
No, I didn't. Not enough that they could hear. Yeah. But if you don't end up having to spend it, then you've got it and you can save yourself a month's payment and just get the full-time thing. We'd rather you wait.
We're the worst marketers ever. Every time someone sells a course, they're like, buy it now. Take out a loan and buy it now. You'll thank yourself later. No, please don't buy it if you're not going to be able to eat. We actually had someone, our first launch, who said that they were going to sell their car to buy HAA, and we told them that if they bought the course, we would refund them.
Yeah, because we don't want y'all doing that. We want you guys to be successful, but at the same time, we also want you guys to live normal.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Please wait.
We have tons of free content on here that can get you through for the most part.
Right.
HAA is just like if you want to take it up to that next level.
Exactly. But the content in the Handmade Alpha Academy is completely different than anything that we do 100%. On YouTube. And you can't look up the content from Handmade Alpha Academy from anyone else. Like, it's not things that you can figure out on your own, because when it comes to the psychology adaptations, I invented that stuff. Like, those are psychology facts that no one really connects to business the way that I have. So, and HAA students, you guys can speak for me on that. If I'm sure that you guys have tried to find similar content elsewhere, but nothing like what's in Handmade Alpha Academy. So I'll let you guys take over that if you want to talk about it.
YB Normal said her sales have been double over the entire holiday season.
I wonder why. People are home. Exactly. I showed Mark some of your products a few days ago. People are home and they're bored and they're trying to...
Yeah, we'll place an order soon.
They're trying to use their time wisely.
G. Morgan said, I'm getting seen on Etsy mostly because of Etsy ads. So far, for low-priced items, fearful over 15% taken from my handmaids, even though they're higher money than most. 15% is a bite. 15% is a lot to be spending on ads.
Don't... if you're worried about them, you don't have to use Etsy ads. Let me just put that out there. They affect a little bit of your visibility, but if your SEO is good and you have a decent funnel and you have a good customer and market experience score, turn them off, turn them on, see how things go. A lot of people report that they actually do a little bit better without their Etsy ads. So I've heard both sides of the story. It seems that there is no consistent pattern when it comes to having your Etsy ads on versus off. Some people are successful with it. Some people say that they get better results when their ads aren't on. So play with it, but don't think that your ads are the only way.
Oh, she said I'm talking Etsy off-site ads.
Are you required to have them? Are you above $10,000? Because if you don't have to have them, then don't feel like, that it's something that's required.
Yeah. Joined in Sunday. I'm on module 2. I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. That's so good to hear.
Big question from Cynthia. This one's kind of hard to answer, but
okay.
How would you let your audience know that your name is legally changing? Long story short, with an abusive, toxic family, my first name is changing. That's hard. We know people that have had their last names changed for a similar reason. First name is, I don't imagine it's a whole lot different, but
So none of your brands are your name. If it happened to me, it would be a lot harder to change my brand name
Wouldn't be
to
able to.
Art by Jessica Moore. Just wouldn't sound right. But either way, it's not that big a deal. And I see people on Facebook change their Facebook first names to something that's not their name just for fun all the time. So people are probably just going to think it's more of an online persona thing. I wouldn't even make an announcement. Just don't change your profile picture. Let that remain consistent.
Let that stay the same.
Yeah, and it should be okay. That's a really hard one, and I've actually never heard anything like that. But I've seen quite a few people change their Facebook names just for fun to fit some type of persona, and it hasn't affected them. I mean, the first time I see it, I'm like, why the heck did she change her name? And then,
Just don't be surprised if people still call you by the original first name.
Yeah,
like customer wise, for people that are like your raving followers, they're probably not going to stop calling you Cynthia. So I would just probably be ready for that. But other than that, I mean, if you have to address it, make a simple post just saying like, hey, changing my name for personal reasons. Honestly, if it were me, I wouldn't even address it. I would just change the name and go with it. But if you have to, you don't have to give any details to anybody. It's not really their business,
Yeah, exactly. So you guys are awfully quiet today. Let's talk about well, first of all, make sure that if you're joining us right now and you're new and you haven't been here from the beginning of the live stream, there's a free masterclass on Saturday. Yeah. Be sure to sign up for that. I've only presented it 2 other times. The first June that we opened Handmade Alpha Academy, and last June. And it's a little bit more rare than our Brand Planet because we don't do this one very often. It's kind of an exclusive summer webinar. And we did a poll asking you guys which of the 2 webinars you would rather see this summer.
By a landslide, it was...
because Mark had to sit and look at all of your emails.
And I replied to almost all of them.
Yeah. How many emails do you think it was?
Well over 100. There were like 120, 130 of them.
Isn't he nice? He also edited yesterday's amazing, funny, epic, long customer service video.
Yeah, for those of y'all that have watched that, let me know what you think. I'm still learning. I literally just learned how to use this video software 5 days ago. So,
and he's done 3 videos so far.
So let me know how my editing's going. Let me know your opinions on all the graphics and video animations. I know some people don't like them. Some people just want an instructional video, but
that's not us. We're different.
But that's on you if you're nitpicky. So you're still getting the same content, but I'm trying to spice it up for the people that have a hard time watching something that is just somebody talking for 25 straight minutes. A funny thing here or there, something flying on the screen here or there. Yeah. Let me know what you think about that kind of stuff. That way I know I want to cater the content to you. She records the videos, but in the end, when it comes to like the creativity of the video, that's going to be me most of the time now. So let me know what y'all want out of that.
Yeah, if you guys want someone just talking about Etsy, there's a million other Etsy YouTubers. Let us be the weirdos who put funny stuff on the screen and try to make you laugh while you learn something. So it was pretty good.
I'm a tech guy and I record music, and the software is pretty similar to what I record music with. So it's not taking me super long, but I'm still learning. Exactly. We're using Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro. It's basically Photoshop for video.
Awesome. All right, so I want to go ahead and cover just a couple of the basic things that I keep getting in my inbox. I've had a couple of the same questions over and over again, so I figured I would just hash those out real quickly. The number one question that I've received, though, are people messaging me asking about why we discourage one-of-a-kind sellers from joining Handmade Alpha Academy. And I'll also throw in some tips, even if you're not wanting to join Handmade Alpha Academy. I'll throw in some tips about one-of-a-kind selling that I've kind of gathered. And I've learned a lot more about selling one-of-a-kind just since I've worked with eRanks since February. That's when I started working for eRank.
We'll get to your question in a second, Maria.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure that we get all questions.
Yeah, we'll get you.
Yeah. So one-of-a-kind products have trouble on Etsy because Etsy's algorithm favors products that can sell over and over again. So when you have a singular listing in your shop, and it sells, it renews from that sale, right? And every time it renews from a sale, you get a little bit of a boost and your listing quality score increases. Another thing that increases your listing quality score are positive reviews of that same listing. So the listing itself hasn't changed. It's selling, 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 gets a review, sells again, gets a review. That's boosting your listing quality score. Now, when you have a one-of-a-kind product, that listing, once it sells out, it doesn't renew, it's gone. And you can get a review for it, but because there's nothing to boost, because it's no longer available, it can't boost up a listing quality score. Now, one-of-a-kind sellers can grow their customer and market experience score, which is the sum total of your shop. The things that factor into your customer and market experience score are your overall number of sales, your overall star rating of your whole shop, whether or not you've had any cases against you, whether or not you've had copyright infringements, and the overall completion of your shop. So if you have your about section filled out, that's going to help your ranking. If you have your policies filled out, that's going to help your ranking. And these things are how one-of-a-kind sellers can rank better in search. But the things that one-of-a-kind sellers need to do are, unfortunately, you have to drive a lot of your own traffic from the get-go, because Etsy isn't going to start recommending you in search until you build a little bit of credibility through your customer and market experience score, which you're going to have to, kind of drive traffic on your own to build that score up before Etsy's going to start recommending you. So one-of-a-kind sellers have a lot of trouble. Handmade Alpha Academy is structured in a way that caters to Etsy's algorithm. And we really focus on making sure that you're able to generate best sellers. Then you have the benefit in Handmade Alpha Academy of both having traffic from SEO, which is your organic traffic, and from your funnel, which we teach you how to do through social media and building an email list. So one-of-a-kind sellers could technically benefit from everything else in Handmade Alpha Academy other than...
Sound is whack again.
Oh, we'll fix it.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll go ahead and...
Burb.
Other than the SEO formula, which is why ultimately we don't recommend it to one-of-a-kind sellers. Let me know if I'll cut out.
Maybe for like a millisecond.
Okay. He's fixing it.
Let me know if that's better.
Okay, is that better?
So let us know if that's better. It's going to take a few seconds before their comments get through, though.
Okay. I'll just keep going.
If that doesn't fix it, it's on YouTube's end.
So that's why we don't encourage one-of-a-kind sellers to buy Handmade Alpha Academy, because even though it's a very small part of Handmade Alpha Academy, the SEO lessons, I cannot in good conscience tell one-of-a-kind sellers to buy something that they cannot use 100% of. Now, if you choose to enroll in Handmade Alpha Academy and you're a one-of-a-kind seller and you know this already, that's completely up to you. You have 30 days to...
glitching like a robot.
Okay, we're trying to fix it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's got to be on YouTube's side, unfortunately.
I'll just keep going, listen through the robot until we get it fixed. But I'm not going to tell you guys to buy it if it doesn't benefit you. But if you still want to try it, you have 30 days to refund. Now I do... Okay, still skippy, but I can understand. I'll just keep talking, Get it? Maybe?
Maybe.
Okay.
I won't know for like 30 seconds because we didn't set the delay right on this video. There's like a 45-second delay.
Okay, just let us know if it gets better.
Unplug that mic and hand it to me, please. I'm also going to need the cable.
I'm working on it. One thing at a time.
Yep. We're working on it!
Okay.
Hopefully this doesn't break the whole stream.
So here's the exception. If we break the stream, we'll be back.
We'll start it back up in a new thing if it breaks.
Yeah, just stand by and we'll start a new window. Just click on my channel if I disappear and keep refreshing until a new stream pops up. But for one-of-a-kind sellers, as long as your product can be listed as a singular listing, Handmade Alpha Academy would work for you. Somebody said that they were doing another live earlier today and this was happening.
Yeah, it's a YouTube side thing. I think it's an encoding problem.
So here's the example that I use. Say that you make natural amethyst gemstone necklaces. Natural gemstones will never look identical, right? They're all going to have different patterns, different edges, different shapes, especially if they're natural cut. However, you could still create a natural or amethyst gemstone necklace. Oh, better. They said better.
I know, that's fine.
Cool.
I'm still going to switch it over to that because it'll sound better anyway.
All right, let us know if it sounds better. We're going to use our mic. No, it says it sounds perfect now. Maybe we should just leave it be.
Okay, I'll leave it be. I've got the microphone in queue, so if it sounds bad again, just let me know and I'll switch it to our actual microphone. Like I said, it was probably on YouTube side.
Okay. So say that, you make these natural gemstone necklaces and you put in your listing, due to the uniqueness of natural amethyst, every single product will be slightly different, and the product that you receive may vary from the one that is pictured. But you're still creating your natural amethyst gemstone necklace listing with stock behind it, because you're going to be listing lots of these amethyst necklaces under this one listing, right? Handmade Alpha Academy would work for that. Another scenario where Handmade Alpha Academy would work is, maybe scroll up and find some questions. Another scenario where it would work is if you had a one-of-a-kind shop. Maybe you make one-of-a-kind necklaces, but you can make a couple repeat products to start generating bestsellers of those listings. So maybe you can't replicate your necklaces, but you can replicate some bracelets. So you add bracelets to your shop that you can make over and over again, and then you use those bracelets as your traffic drivers. So those are doing well in search because they appeal to Etsy's algorithm, because they can sell over and over and you can rank a little bit better for them. And then people, when they buy, or when they want this bracelet, they decide to go to look at your actual shop, and then they start seeing your one-of-a-kind pieces. Yes. And then they think, oh, I'll add this necklace to go with my bracelet. If you can add a product line that you can replicate to your shop, Handmade Alpha Academy will work for you. Some one-of-a-kind products are totally fine. If you cannot replicate them at all, that's fine. I do that as well. I have one-of-a-kind keys that every once in a while I create. They sell out within like 30 seconds, so you won't see them in my shop anytime soon. But that is one of the things that you can do and that other HAA students do. So I hope that answers any questions about one-of-a-kind. But if you do have questions, please put those down below as well. All right, let's get on to theirs.
I wanted to comment on that. You've been going for like 10 straight minutes.
I'm sorry.
It's all about predictability, right? So Etsy is going to favor shops that they can predict are going to continue to do well.
Yes.
So if you're looking at a shop that has one-of-a-kind keys, think of yourself from Etsy's perspective. If you're a new shop, you sell one-of-a-kind stuff, or you're even a veteran shop and you haven't really been working on your shop that much, you haven't made that many sales, and you're selling one-of-a-kind things, it's impossible for Etsy to tell whether or not predictably you're going to be continuing to make sales, or if you're going to make sales over time. So favoring you in SEO doesn't behoove them in the long term.
Exactly.
Think about big box retailers. How many big box retailers, Walmart and Target and Kroger and all these places, how many of those places stock one-of-a-kind items? If they have them, it's usually not for very long, or it's a very small, limited run of a thing. It's usually things that they can predict are going to sell over a period of time. So if you're selling a large amount of products, say you have 10 listings and you have 10 of each, and you're selling them consistently, like, okay, well, one of these is selling every week from each one of these products. Etsy can say, okay, well, here's what the trend is, and they can do this all with algorithms. They don't need to have a person sitting there looking at your shop. It's mathematical, right? So these algorithms are looking at you saying, okay, well, you've made a few sales and you're continuing to add products, but you have a limited amount of products, so it's easier for the algorithm to look at you and say, this person is going to make us money. Yeah. That's why it's beneficial to have a product line. Even if you sell one-of-a-kind products, it's kind of impossible for you vintage guys, unless you're buying like bulk vintage stuff for you to have a release. But if you're doing one-of-a-kind, you should have at least one small collection. You could even do them like biannually. So every 6 months you release like maybe 5 to 10 products. I mean, if you're one-of-a-kind, you don't want to fill your shop full of products, but it's good to have them. Otherwise, Etsy can't tell what they should do with you. Okay, Zamoria, to be honest, I don't have an Etsy shop store account. My sister does. She's been on Etsy forever. She and I were talking, and she suggested I try it for a complete Etsy noob. How can HAA help? Or can it even help?
So
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah, not having an Etsy shop and joining Handmade Alpha Academy is the best case scenario, because what usually happens is people join Handmade Alpha Academy after they've tried to get their Etsy shop off the ground and they're not happy with their results. Now, if you already have an Etsy shop, Handmade Alpha Academy can completely flip it and turn it into exactly what you want it to be if you're willing to put the work in. But if you're starting with no shop at all, Handmade Alpha Academy is a best case scenario, because it's what it's going to do is it's going to teach you everything that you need to know to get set up, but it's going to put some steps in place so that when you set up, you're starting with an actual foundation there. You wouldn't build a house with no foundation, and what Handmade Alpha Academy does is it gets the foundation solidified. In fact, in Handmade Alpha Academy, there's an optional lesson for newbies who don't have a shop yet that will teach you how to set your shop up and how to register for your account. But for those who already have their account set up, that's one that they don't have to take. So we created the course in a way that is for both types of sellers.
And for the amateur and intermediate sellers, it's more of a, we're going to fix what's in the foundation that you may have missed.
Exactly.
And that's why we give the 30-day money-back guarantee with this, is because a lot of people do join that already have Etsy shops. Even we have veteran Etsy shop owners that have done even better.
Paula?
Paula, she's done awesome since she's joined HA, and she was already really successful before she joined. It's a matter of, we're trying to fill in all the things that you may not think of, because you're running an Etsy shop, you're busy, you're making your products, you're taking your photos, you're editing your photos, you're doing your SEO research. You don't have time to do all the extra crap. We're at a point where our Etsy shop is entirely ran off of the following that we already have, and then a few alphas by here and there. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just grabbing something.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
So for you guys that are like amateurs still, you've had a shop for a year or two, you haven't really got a lot of sales, you haven't really thought about how you want your shop to move, it's perfect for you guys too. If you're like an intermediate seller, you've been around for 2 to 5 years and you make okay sales, it's still going to be really good for you, because you're going to learn about some of the aspects that you need to be able to take your shop a little bit further, how the psychology of your marketing works. How to maximize your SEO if you've never been good at SEO. If you're specifically like an off-site kind of person where you drive your traffic in and you've never really worked with your SEO internally to bring internal traffic, it's going to help you with that.
Setting up a mailing list and building a funnel.
For veteran Etsy sellers, I usually don't necessarily recommend it, but it can't hurt. If you've got the extra cash and you want to make sure you're not missing out on anything, feel free. And if it's not enough for you, you can refund and we won't ask you any questions. So
I'm going to go ahead and throw Paula's link down below. Now, keep in mind, this is not her total sales number, because she also has a website on top of her Etsy shop. Paula Haas emailed me on our very first HAA opening, and she said, look, I'm really successful on Etsy. She had won a small business award for her brand, Clean and Dirty, but she felt like she could be doing a little bit more. Her branding was perfect. I told her not to touch it. Her photos were perfect. I told her not to touch those. She just needed to have that competitive edge, how to build the raving following, how to build the mailing list, how to get people actually talking about her brand, and how to really sprinkle those psychological triggers into her shop and marketing so that she could reach her goal, which was 6 figures. She hit her goal within just a couple months of joining HAA, and she ended up making like, what was it, man? It was
we'll just say a lot.
It was like 6.
Let's not throw a number. We don't remember exactly how much. It was a lot, though.
She made a lot. She made a lot, and she is amazing. So I went ahead and put her shop down below if you want to check it out.
All right, butterfly decoration. Hi, my shop's been online since January, and I changed a lot the last weeks. I looked at a lot of your SEO videos, but I'm still in place 300 something with my products. I filled everything in the shop, the about section, etc. Made new titles, tags. What else can I do as a new shop? My conversion rate is at 0.5% at the moment. It's impossible to tell, really.
Changing a lot over the last few weeks isn't enough time to gauge your success. And SEO is only one of the 7 factors that contributes to rank on Etsy. Make sure that you go watch my video called what contributes to rank on Etsy. It's a short video. And then we also have a long Friday Bean episode called 7 Factors that contribute to rank on Etsy. Watch those 2 videos. I recommend watching the short video first and then watching the long Friday Bean episode after that, so you can learn a little bit more in depth and kind of hear me chat about those 7 steps. That's going to help you a lot. But ultimately, SEO takes a lot of time, and it's not the only thing that is going to position you. Also, what I'd like to know is, what are you using to check your position? Are you looking on Etsy? Because that wouldn't be an accurate way to check. Another one that you can use the Spotted on Etsy tool within eRank, but you can also use the rank checker. I usually recommend using the rank checker, though Spotted on Etsy is good for like a glance. Check the rank checker, because that one is going to be your best bet. And if you go over to eRank's YouTube channel, which I would just type in eRank and you should be able to find it. Pam, who works for eRank, she's on my team. She actually just created a video, and that's going to be posting very soon. I think it's posting. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Go directly to Pam's channel. She created a video and it's already available on the rank checker that describes exactly how to use it. So Pam Duffy, she's the one who has the half purple, half red hair. Check out her video on the rank checker, and that'll teach you how to use that to check your rank on Etsy. So.
Okay, so girl said you had some great suggestions for how to deal with one of a kind and make it more repeatable on Friday. Yeah, our last Friday Bean was pretty good.
Yeah, go watch our last week's episode of Friday Bean if you have any other questions. I can't even remember what I said. we go live.
We do a lot of lives and we ask a lot of questions. It's hard to remember what we've said about everything.
This is year 3. Year 3 pretty much every Friday, and now we're live today on a Monday. So.
I love HA. Totally unrelated, but what do you do to prepare for the holidays?
For my shop?
Stock up on shipping supplies. Make sure you have enough of your pre-made products good to go.
Get your keywords, your holiday-related keywords, in several months in advance. I recommend getting your holiday keywords in around August to September. Make sure that you look in eRank's Trend Buzz. I actually have a video about that called How to Know What's Trending Now on Etsy. I made that just a couple weeks ago. Go watch that video. Learn how to look at what's going to be trending in September, August, time frames, and I would even say October, November, December. Look at the keywords that are trending for holiday-related products. Get those into your tags and titles as soon as you can. I would say August would be a great time. September would be okay as well, because it's going to take you a couple weeks for Etsy to recognize and place you for the changes that you've made to your SEO. So the sooner that you can get those new keywords in there, the better, because it's going to give you time to really get some authority on those terms.
Oh no, sound issues again. Sound's doing it again. Sound is skipping again. Holy crap, YouTube!
You gonna plug in the other, or do the other mic?
Yeah, I'm just gonna switch it. Boop.
All right, let us know. Let us know if it sounds okay.
Alright, I just switched it over to a completely different mic, so if it's still doing it, then it's definitely not on our end.
Priscilla said, finding a course that specializes in vintage items might be best for one-of-a-kind sellers. Yeah, vintage is a totally different, it's a lot different. I actually do know someone who has a vintage course. Tracy, I think. Is it Tracy? Tracy specializes in vintage. Let me know, do we have any vintage sellers who would be interested in a vintage course? Because I know someone who has one. Maybe we can have her join us. Fixed?
Yeah, it's fixed.
Okay.
Just fixing the friggin' screen. I need to figure out why that zooms out like that.
Maybe we can have her join us. If we have any vintage sellers, just let us know. The only reason I haven't had her on the channel yet is because I know that most of our sellers aren't vintage. And it ticks people off when we target in on something that isn't our general target audience. So
Yep.
Let us know.
All right, Ginger asks, so I have items that I love, but they're not selling. I feel like I need to move to a different item. How do you find your next item? Research and move to that even if you don't love it. How did you figure out what to do after your tattoo designs? Was it something you were interested in?
So if you love them and they're not selling, that's your indicator that there's either something wrong with your targeting and how you're targeting people, or maybe it's just something that you love and nobody else does, and that happens. So you have to decide, do you want to stop making those products? If the answer is no, make them for yourself. Make them for families. Make them for holidays. Make them for craft fairs. But if they're not selling on Etsy and you know that it's not your SEO, your photos, your storefront, or anything that you're doing, they're just not doing well, and you've done all the research on them, make sure that you're checking, eRank to see what search patterns have been in the past, then it might be time to, get rid of that product. Don't get too married to your ideas. We're businesses. Our job isn't to make products for us. Our job is to make products for people. And if people don't want what we're making, we need to pivot in a different direction. And what a lot of sellers do is they get so upset and their feelings get so hurt that no one wants their product, that rather than adapting, taking the clues that, they have that no one wants that item and creating something new that people do want, they get so hurt that they just don't make anything different at all and they don't try anything else. So, like I said, if you want to keep making it, that's fine. Try it in different areas. Maybe try it in craft fairs. Give them to friends if you have a bunch of stock. But then pivot to something else that does work. Make sure that you check things like eRank's Trend Buzz so you can see what people on Etsy are actually searching for. One of the most common items on Etsy over the last few months have been SVG files. Those have been huge on Etsy. It's a really weird thing, but if someone were to get in on SVGs out of nowhere, they might suddenly have a very successful shop. Can you scroll back up to her question, because I want to make sure I'm answering it. And then you asked about the tattoo designs. So my business, for those who don't know, it's called Art by Starla Moore because I started doing art and I just didn't want to change my business name. I wish I would have. But I switched from tattoo designs to jewelry because I realized that the tattoo business was taking too much time. I had to hand draw things. I often had people message me and ask for revisions, which required me to completely hand draw them again because I didn't use like an online program where I could just go in and adjust what I'd done. And I realized it wasn't scalable. So I switched that over to my jewelry just because I was a newbie trying all different things, and I thought to myself, this sounds fun. So there was really no method behind it. I was 19 years old, so I don't recommend you taking too much of my advice there, because I had no idea what I was doing at the time. And if I did something right, it was only because I was bumbling around until I just happened to find the right thing that worked. But all right.
Lynn LMR Creations. So if I have more than one quantity, should I have it set to auto renew?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We usually recommend people to have like 2 to 4 for a quantity per product.
Yeah, that way, well, even
create a little bit of scarcity.
Exactly. Create some scarcity in there, but then have it set to auto renew once it sells out.
Question: I'm coming up on 1 year with HAA and received eRank subscription with purchase. What will happen when that expires? Will I get a notice to rejoin with my credit card? Will I lose my saved info?
I
don't think you'll lose your saved info. You'll probably just have to go back in and pay for the account.
Yeah, I think so. If you have, for example, the only saved info that you'll have, I would assume, is like your keyword lists.
Yeah.
We've made it so that, and for those who don't know, I do work for eRank now as of February. And I was on the team developing keyword lists. So if you have keyword lists saved, those won't go away. You just won't be able to add any new keywords when you bump back down to a free membership. So you won't be able to add any new keywords or add any new lists. You'll still have
until you upgrade.
Until you upgrade or until you delete some items from your current list.
Yeah.
But you won't lose them, and then you can just go upgrade your account when you see that it isn't pro anymore. But I believe that we send you an email. That's, when you need to go pay again. I will probably be the one to send you that email letting you know that your subscription is about to end and that you need to go pay for it, which you can pay with credit card or PayPal now. And we also have the basic plan now as well.
We've got a few questions in here. We got 15 minutes left, so if you have any HA specific questions, get them in so we can get to those. Gary, I currently do vinyl wall decals and sell the same decals over and over again. Will HA work for me? I normally only list one, but could list as multiple.
No, that's what I do recommend. As long as you have more than one, you don't have to have the stock. As long as you're renewing that same listing rather than recreating it, it sells out and it either auto renews or you have, a lot of stock behind it, or you go in and manually renew it, as long as it's the same listing, that's exactly what we want you to do.
Yep.
It's the one-of-a-kind sellers who make something and then it sells out and they can never put it back. It just ends up in their sold-out listings forever. Those are the ones that are going to have a harder time. What you have is ideally what we want for HAA students. That is perfect. And you're creating scarcity by only listing one at a time, which is fantastic since most people won't be buying more than one of your products. So you don't really need to have stock. All right.
Is it possible to make 6 figures on Etsy if you have another part-time job? I sell digital products between $3 and $12. Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing, because this comes down more to like money management more than it does like making 6 figures. So like if you're working a part-time job and you're on Etsy, you don't necessarily need to get to 6 figures before you're able to quit your part-time job, right? So like if your Etsy shop is already making, say, like $30,000 to $40,000 a year, for the average person, that's enough to live on. So once you get to a point where you're comfortable pulling away from your part-time job, that's where you can pull away from the job and put more into the Etsy shop. You can put more time into that. And that's when you work your way up to 6 figures. So you're not going to see a whole lot of people who are working like a really good job and making 6 figures on Etsy. You sell digital products, so it's a little bit easier for you because you don't have to pack up stuff and send it to people. So like a third of the time is completely cut out for you. So it's more doable for you. But I honestly, once you're to a point where you're comfortable leaving your job, I would probably work on your Etsy up till that point and then just not worry, especially if it's a part-time job. Ditch it once you get to a point where you're comfortable and it's consistent. Don't do like a holiday season, like you make 10 or 15 grand over a Christmas or something like that, and then leave your job. Make sure it's like consistently every month for a few months, that it's going to keep going that way.
And not only that, but I would also, if you're planning on quitting your job to rely solely on Etsy, I still do recommend that you have your products hosted on another platform before you quit your job. In the event that something happens, you never know when there's going to be something crazy. It doesn't happen often. Etsy shops don't just get deactivated for no reason. And the few cases where it's happened where the person couldn't think of a reason, Etsy will reactivate those shops. They can't just get rid of you for no reason, despite what you may hear. That it would be against the law for them to just shut your business down for no reason. But I still recommend having something like your own website or Handmade at Amazon or just some other backup, because it's almost like having a hard drive. You wouldn't, if you had all of your childhood and family photos and the only place that you had them was stored on your local computer. What happens if your computer explodes or whatever? I don't know enough about computers, but if you don't have them backed up or like on the cloud or something, you lose all of that. So have a backup just in case, if you're afraid. It's always a good idea, but you can still do it. We have plenty of alphas who run on their Etsy shops alone who have quit their day jobs, but most of the time they also have a spouse who has a job, just in the event that something were to happen, they wouldn't starve to death or something like that. The last thing that I want to see is you end up, in a really bad situation. Yeah. So,
all right, Mineral Makeup Junkie. I just got on, so not sure if this is off topic. I recently noticed I no longer can see any stars on previous buyers. This greatly affects how I write my notes to buyers. Anyone else notice this?
Oh, so you're not able to see repeat customers. Are you talking about like your swipe?
I noticed that too.
Really?
A few weeks ago in your shop. Yeah, it's been kind of hit or miss. I think they're testing stuff. I don't know if that's a permanent thing. Somebody feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
Pam, do you know anything about that? I just shouted you out a few minutes ago. Your awesome rank checker video. You should expect some alphas to come say hi.
Renee says, I see stars, but when I click order history, nothing comes up. Maybe there's a glitch. That happens.
Interesting.
Aaron Walker, I'm sorry if I missed this, but I noticed a few times that some shops will list an item as the last one and then someone will buy it, but instead of it disappearing, it renews. This is a shop trick. Yeah, we talk about this usually on our Friday Beans. We usually recommend people have like 2 to 4 of an item in a shop, and then when it's because it makes people think that like they're gonna miss out on buying it. It's one of those kind of like shady but not shady marketing tactics
Scarcity.
Everyone does it. Yeah, it's scarcity. You make it where there's a limited amount. Once it sells out, if it were me, I wouldn't set it to auto renew. I would let it go for like a day and then renew it, but that takes time. So for most people, auto renewing is just the best way to do it, because nobody's going to buy an item and then go right back to the shop and look to see if it's there again, you know?
Yeah, Lori did this. Lori from Lori's Laboratory, she's our Alpha of the Year. She did this to me a couple launches ago, where she launched these really cool apothecary jars with wolves on them. But I saw that there was only one, and it was her high-priced item. It was, I think it was like $90. And I thought to myself, oh, crap, you know, this is something I've been waiting for her to launch, but she only made one. I need to buy this right now. So I bought it, and then I messaged her and I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I ordered your wolf jar. I wanted to get it before anybody else did. And then she said something like, yeah, because there was only one of them, wink. And then I looked at her shop and she had relisted another. It worked on me, guys. I'm the one who teaches this stuff, and it worked on me. So if it worked on me, probably it's going to work for your customers as well.
Yeah, I used to sell zippered coin purses. I get the views, but no sales. I found out that those sell better at craft fairs, so I have to find what else I want to sell. Yeah, that's normal in just about every market. You'll find somebody that likes making something who will sell them like on their own website, make like 2 or 3 of them at a time because it's something they enjoy, and then you have to find something that everybody else enjoys. We all have something that we enjoy to make as crafters, but most other people wouldn't necessarily, like, it's not a big demand items. You always have to keep that in mind. You're not really creating products 100% for you. It's like 50% for you and 50% for the people you're trying to sell to.
Even more for the people you're trying to sell to.
It has to be about your customers.
Yeah.
If they don't like what you're putting out, it doesn't matter if you like them or not. If they're not selling, they're not selling.
And one thing that you can do, Missy, I can't remember what you sell, but say that you sell big, like, handbags or something. You could put the zippered coin purse as an add-on with a price on the variation. So you can buy the big purse by itself, or big purse with coin purse. You know, we'll say it's $50 for just purse, or buy purse with coin purse, and that is, you know, $70 or whatever. That would be a way to maybe boost the sales on some of those items rather than listing them on their own. So, okay,
these guys got 3 questions here. Roughed up designs. I was researching today the top sellers of tees and clothing, was so surprised it was rammed with purchasable designs. Purchasable as in the standard 1,000 fisherman designs kind of commercial sales pack. And I can see these massive sellers have been there for years. Fishing is a huge genre. Oh yeah, especially in the United States. Everybody I know fishes.
Yeah.
Or has been fishing.
Sounds like a pretty saturated market, but not impossible.
Courtney said, without saying too much, I want to say that I love Dominance 2.0.
Good.
I watched it yesterday, and you actually have me excited to get into E-Rank and do some more SEO research. Yeah, we just updated our SEO stuff for the new launch. Been working on it for freaking ever.
Oh, God, it's been forever. Was it fun? Was it better the second time around? I know that a lot of the information was the same, but I wanted to throw in new things like keyword lists and stuff. My voice, if you notice at the end of that lesson, I think once you got to the very last video, my voice was going out because it took me so long to record it. I had to record it over the span of several days. It's crazy.
Most of what I sell is handwoven jewelry, but I have a bit of everything from wire wrap to gemstone jewelry. Should I start a second shop just for the handwoven niche?
Oh, so Jennifer, I actually just answered this question in Handmade Alpha Academy, so I'm going to just kind of steal the answer that I gave today. There's a little story that I like to tell for people who ask questions about opening a second shop, okay? Say that you know a big storm is coming, and you know that you have to build a shelter for yourself, right? Now, imagine that rather than building your one shelter, you try to build 2 shelters at the same time. You may get the 4 walls up on each of the shelters, but if the storm comes before you're done, you're still going to get wet. The best thing to do is to focus on building one of your shelters until you master it. Focus on your one shelter, get the roof on it, and then you can start working on your second shelter. So if you aren't already happy with your first shop, double shops does not equal double money. It equals double time, double effort, and you need 100% of your time and dedication to get one shop off the ground, let alone 2. So my recommendation is to look at your current shop, decide if you're happy with it. If you're not happy with it, I would tweak that shop until it is doing well, and then start working on your second shelter, because otherwise you're not going to have a roof over your head while,
And I'm still more in the boat that you should only have one shop. You can't dedicate all of your time to two shops. You have to split up your effort. And if you're doing like a digital shop that doesn't require anything past you, like making your art, and you make your art like in your free time for fun, that's one thing. But if they're both physical product shops, that's a lot of especially if they both end up starting to pick up steam, then you're going to have to pick one that you like, and you have to move away from the other one. You make one audience angry, and the other audience it's not a good way to go.
Right. You have to think about, what are you going to do if one explodes, or what are you going to do if both explode and they do really well?
Yeah. I mean, you always have the option of selling your business, but most people, you're not going to get a lot of money for a business unless it's making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So
Pam said, what was the question? My PC is grumpy. Someone said that when they go into their Etsy sales, when you have a repeat buyer, you used to have a star beside their name to indicate that they were a repeat buyer. And now there's no star indicating repeat buyers. So I didn't notice that, but apparently Mark noticed it last time we were packing orders. So
it was a couple months ago, actually. It's been kind of hit or miss. I've activated a sale code. I activated a sale code if someone favorites my product and tested it with a friend, and it doesn't work. Do you know if Etsy makes it not by everyone?
A sale code.
I'm assuming they meant like a coupon for their shop, and it's not working.
Oh, so is it someone favorites my product and tested it? I don't think that there's nothing that if you favorite a product, it sends you a coupon. It's if they add it to their cart, you can do a cart abandoned cart coupon, but not for favoriting a product. Please feel free to reiterate if I've missed your question or if I've misunderstood.
As a customer, the only time I don't like the scarcity aspect at a customer is when a seller says something is available only until midnight tonight. Then I see the same ad every day for a week after that. Yeah, you have to. That. It's a form of manipulation, right? You're trying to kindly manipulate people into buying your products. Manipulate's kind of a really aggressive word. That's not necessarily what it is. You're trying to influence them into wanting to buy your product instead of maybe somebody else's product. So like having a little bit of like integrity involved in that manipulation needs to kind of be there. If you're going to set timelines for something, that's like with HAA, we have the 10-day timeline. I'm strict on that. Like 11:59 p.m. once it hits midnight on I forget what the day is. 23rd. I think it's the 23rd. I close that, and if you're one of the people that says, "Oh, I was in the middle of trying to check out," tough teddies.
Like you had tough teddies. I'm glad you said teddies and not the other thing.
That's why I stopped for a second. Like you have to have a little bit of integrity, because it's most people aren't going to get mad at you, but there's could be like 1, 10, 20 people that were looking at your shop, and they're like, "Oh yeah, cool. I was thinking about buying that item. Wait a minute, I thought this thing was only going to be on sale until midnight." And there you go. You just lost people. You know what I mean? Like you want to influence people, and you want to manipulate you want to manipulate them in a way that they're going to buy your products, but at the same time you want them to be repeat customers. You want them to enjoy your products and like the brand, and if they can't trust you, they can't trust the product.
Yeah. I remember something that made me really mad. I ended up buying it anyways, but I took Ty Lopez, the here in my garage, just got this new Lamborghini guy. I bought his program when he was like brand new and when that ad first started circulating. And I bought his program because I was on the checkout page and I had it in my cart, and it was like $68, really cheap, but I decided not to get it. I was like 22. I decided not to get it, and I went to X out of my cart, and a pop-up came up and it said, "Wait, don't go. Get it for $30-something." And I thought to myself, I would have only gotten this discount if I tried to leave the website, which means I could have totally just paid double the price for this course, but then I tried to click out of it and it gave me a discount. I didn't like that. I bought the thing because at the time I was like I hadn't taken any other online courses, and I was just desperate for anything I could do to help me because I had just started my business. But that one really upset me. It was shady.
Aaron said it worked on me. I just ordered from Lori and I felt like I was cheating on you, Starla. LOL. I want to list one item as scarcity, but I'm worried someone will be upset if they... No one's going to care. And here's the thing. This is why I'm a proponent of waiting like 12 to 24 hours before relisting the item, because then you always have a backup defense. If somebody does get upset with that kind of thing, you can say, I only want to sell a certain amount of this product. I want to be able to make sure that I'm going to continue being able to ship all of my products on time. It gives you an excuse to be able to come up with something as an excuse for the scarcity. You're always able to defend yourself. You should always have a defense for everything.
Right. I need to make sure that I have time to create more of these, or ship more of these, or package them. I want to make sure that I have the time, so I list them in small batches.
This item is really popular. If I list 100 of these things and they all sell out really fast, I'm not going to be able to get all these orders done in time. There's always a legitimate reason that you can back up something like that, because that's true. If you have an item that you could sell 100 over the course of a week, you're not going to be able to get all those products out. And if you list them scarcely, you'll still be able to sell them every single day and have a consistent sale of those things. But at the same time, it'll be controlled and niched down.
Exactly.
Delia Jones. I'm at the top of my niche. Many of my listings stay on the front page of search. I sell around 100 items a month, 5K in revenue monthly. That's freaking awesome. Top there. Would HAA benefit me in any way? I kind of talked about this earlier. Because you're more in the middle of like the intermediate to advanced level seller. It's one of those things where I can't really tell you if it's going to benefit you. We kind of use that as like building a foundation for a house. Our job for the intermediate to advanced seller is to fill in the cracks in that foundation of your shop, and to make sure that you didn't really miss anything, that you're doing everything that you could be doing, even if you're an advanced seller. And that is 100% the reason why we do the 30-day money-back guarantee, is because if it's not for you, if there's not enough information for you, and there's like, 20-something hours worth of video content before bonuses. So that's why we give you 30 days, and if it ends up not being enough for you, we won't be mad if you have to refund. For real. So if you're on the border of it and you have the extra money that you could spend on it, take the dive, do it. And if it's not for you, you can always email me.
Right. But my big suggestion is don't just get through modules 1 and module 2 and then make a decision
take a look through all of it.
Right. Don't just get through modules 1 and module 2 and decide like, oh, this is all newbie content. Because if that's the case, HAA revs up. It starts basic. It starts with the foundation.
It's in order.
And then it gets into starting and establishing your funnel. And then it gets into building a marketing plan and following my marketing plan, my exact one that I use. And then it gets into building an email list and getting your funnel going. And then it gets into actually getting your Etsy shop filled with psychological triggers that can convert your viewers into buyers. And then it talks about SEO, getting advanced with your strategies and your tracking. It sounds like you're already doing really good with that, but maybe there's some extra tips about tracking that you could learn. Then we get into, what comes after SEO? Then we get into pricing psychology and, oh crap.
Whole bunch of stuff.
We talk about my giveaway strategy that helped me to gain 25,000 Facebook fans. We talk about building a VIP group through Facebook, so you can have a group, which groups get way more exposure on Facebook than Facebook pages, and you have a lot better engagement potential with a group. Those are all of the things, but they get more and more advanced as you go along. We just have to start assuming that the person is brand new to Etsy, but we still cater it in a way that if you already have a shop, you don't feel like I'm talking to you like you're a toddler. So feel free to test it out. I just recommend that you actually dive in and really be open-minded, even if you already know the content or you feel like you know all about target markets or whatever it may be. Do the exercises, because if Paula Haas, who was already very successful, could take HAA
almost a 6-figure seller
and then flip her business to 6 figures within just a few months after already having a shop that looked beautiful aesthetically from the outside.
Probably something for you there. It's just a matter of finding what you need. That's kind of one of the big misconceptions. It's not just here's how you open an Etsy shop, here's how you run an Etsy shop. Like it's not just like common sense crap that we pulled out of Etsy and just started telling you how to do things. It's not about that at all. The majority of what she has done with the content is all psychology driven.
Yeah.
She's read innumerable, like our bookshelf is ridiculous with the amount of books that are sitting on it that she had to go through and pick and pull things, and they go all the way back from like early days to modern psychological information.
How it's been adapted, how strategies have been adapted.
So it's not just do this, do this, do this. It is partially that, but it's do this because this, do this because this, do one of these things because these things. It's descriptive. We need a lightning round because we're already 5 minutes over.
That's
here.
all right. I'm not. Just let's make sure we get.
Eat.
I can keep going.
My point being is it's most certainly not original creation. How do they get away with commercial templates?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they're selling designs that a lot of other people use. That's a limited license thing, I think is what he's referring to. People are selling these, and a lot of people or she. These people are selling these designs, and people are sticking them on. Multiple different places are sticking them on their shirts. It's because they can sell the designs itself to people, and people can put those designs on shirts, but people cannot sell those designs on their own. They have a limited, I forget what the term is for it, limited something license over the product. So they have like this big catalog of fishing images. They'll send them to people, and those people have the permission to put them on things, but not the logos by themselves.
Yeah.
Has Paula had an interview with you guys?
Two. Go onto my channel, on my actual channel page. There's a smaller search bar, like under my big banner with me and the wolves. Type in Paula Hoss, PaulaHoss. She's got some great interviews on our channel where she talks about her experiences with HAA, and she gives some amazing tips.
A couple people said that you can send discounts to people who favorite now.
Oh.
So that's cool. We'll have to look into that. We do all of our discounts through like specific marketing stuff, so we don't
we teach in HAA.
Yeah, we really don't focus on all the other stuff that you can do. Will you be teaching Mailchimp in the course?
Yep.
Yes, 100%.
Yep, we do teach Mailchimp.
Do you have any tips for selling items that sell best in winter during summer? Crochet hats, for example.
Unfortunately, there's no way to make people buy something that isn't in season. Just like there's no way I could tell you how to sell Santa Claus, wreaths in the middle of summer. If people aren't buying it, they're not buying it. So you can't convert something that does not naturally sell, on an off season. Just like we have this Halloween store right by my daughter's karate studio, and it's a great fun place to go in the fall, and it's open year round, and they've got a haunted house, and the whole street is just Halloween. Lots of fun. You never see anybody. They're open right now.
The only thing that anyone ever does in that store is because they sell hot dogs, popcorn, and soda. So people just go in there for a quick snack while they're shopping at all the other shops around the area now.
But they stay open because they make, probably make $1 million,
Oh, no.
Okay, they probably
they just closed 2 of their stores, remember?
Oh, yeah. Well, they make a lot of money. They make a lot of money around Halloween, and then they ration out that money throughout the rest of the year. So I would consider expanding your product line to something that might sell better in the summer, and then add that along with your current product line.
Couldn't she focus on the other hemisphere? It's winter there now.
Yeah, you could be targeting a different part of the world. It's just really hard to optimize your shop that way. It makes SEO a little bit more complicated.
It makes it very complicated, not to mention the majority of the people that are buying from you are going to probably be consistently from the same places.
Yeah.
If you're in the U.S., most of the people that buy from you are going to be in the U.S., a few people from Europe, and a few people from some of the stands and like Middle Eastern countries and stuff.
I think like 53% right now of Etsy shoppers are in the U.S., so you have a very small pool to select from. Pam
said, I don't see repeat seller badges, and sale history is saying 0 customers. I know of purchase, so it might be a glitch. Oh wait, I see 1 little star repeat buyer by 1 order. Yeah, that's what I said. I figured they're probably testing something or because I saw this issue like 2 or 3 months ago when we were packing orders.
That's weird.
They've also had a huge influx of buyers, so their servers might be having trouble keeping up with stuff. Allison said the bonuses so far have been worth the money. Just the bonuses on there, and that's awesome.
Which bonus is your favorite, Allison?
Luminarius, descriptions, pricing, SEO, stuff like that. Tags, ? Yes, we cover pretty much all that stuff.
Yep.
I love having giveaways. It's a great way to get people in your funnel. Sure is. Couldn't she focus on...
Oh, you already...
I already read that. Sorry, I'm just trying to blast through these. I've tried to send my message 3 times now. Please ignore if it shows more than once. I haven't seen a single...
From Charlotte?
No.
No.
If you have a link or anything in your comment, that's not going to come through.
Yeah,
Charlotte... I don't know if that's what it is.
Charlotte, feel free to resubmit it real quick while we go through our...
We're done.
Well, I have an end spiel.
Maybe it's a repeat within the past month or year. Who knows, man?
Weird.
5-year-old shop left idle for nearly 3 of those years. Would you guys rebuild or start fresh? That's totally up to you. I personally don't think it makes a difference.
You probably don't have a really good customer and market experience score. You probably don't have any listing quality scores, obviously, if you have no listings. So the only thing that I would say it might reflect is if you have no good reviews or no reviews at all, and you see and there are not a lot of sales, and it looks like your shop's been open for a long time. That might be one of the cases where I say go ahead and open a new shop. That way it looks like you're a new shop rather than, oh, I've been open since 2015 and I have 5 sales. It might not send good messages to buyers, but it's really up to you, because I've seen shops do that and it not make any difference at all, and they end up doing great when they reopen. So,
and I would say that if you do end up keeping the old shop, if you don't have a lot of activity on any social media and stuff that you had, I'd probably just start fresh with that regardless. Luminaria, I'm beginning to sell crochet and I've got no sales, and according to regular free e-rank, I'm good for my listing, and so I want some tips. For that, I got a Canon T7. Do you have tips for shooting products?
Yeah, I've got some, go on my channel and click playlists and look for my photo editing playlist, because I also have a video on that playlist called How I Shoot My Product Photos. That should help you a ton.
Yeah, for sure. And as far as actually using the camera, if you need help with how that particular camera works, I would buy a mini course on one of the mini course websites. Udemy, masterclass.
Check YouTube first though.
Yeah, and go with that, because every camera is a little bit different, and there's so many small details that go into using a higher end camera that there's no way we'd also be able to teach that.
Right.
Charlotte got our comment.
Oh, good.
Our shop is not open now because the commercial kitchen we use is currently closed because of COVID. Since we don't know when the commercial kitchen will be available to use again, would you open shop number 2?
That would be an occasion where I would say, yeah, if you've got the extra time and you're worried about
you just need some side income.
Yeah, maybe go ahead and try to open up another shop. Just really think about the type of customer that you want to cater to, and I assume that you have a product in mind already. So, all right, guys. We'll go ahead and give our end spiel. We're doing a free masterclass this Saturday. That is June 20th. We've only done this masterclass 2 times in the past because we do it in the summer in June. We actually asked you guys which of our 2 masterclasses you wanted, and almost everyone who voted said that this is the one that they wanted. So the masterclass is called Climbing the Mountain, or Climbing the Etsy Mountain, and it is the 5 steps that successful sellers use in their newbie stages to really get their shops going. It's the 5 things that work together to build a shop to success. And if you're one of the alphas who's been asking me for a copy of my SSAR swipe files, which, guys, if you use those already, or if you've ever used them, please type in the comments and let everybody know how amazing they are. These are messages that you can copy and paste to your Etsy customers, and these will help you to generate more 5-star reviews. Keeping in mind that 5-star reviews are one of the factors that help you to rank higher on Etsy. So getting good reviews is extremely important. In fact, the video that we posted yesterday about bad review prevention, be sure to go watch that too, because there's some additional tips in that video. Not to mention, Mark edited it, and it's really funny. He threw in tons of funny stuff.
Do you have the links for all of that in the description?
Yeah,
the class and everything, because we had somebody asking about it.
Yeah,
link under the video to register isn't working.
Really? Can someone else click it and let me know if it's just Aaron having trouble? Because occasionally the bit.ly URL messes with it. The swipe files are awesome. Let me go ahead and grab you guys a different link for it. Maybe that'll work. Give me 1 second. I've got 2 links.
Sorry, I had to jump up. The cat was getting ready to jump and tear all of our cables out of the computer.
Give me 1 sec. Oh, let me grab.
No, the masterclass is free.
Yep. There we go.
Would you put a link to the swipe file in the description, please?
No. The swipe files, you have to go to the masterclass. We're giving those away at the masterclass. Let me grab. Link is working just fine for me in the description.
No, the masterclass isn't part of HAA.
Okay, so here's the point of the masterclass, guys. What we end up having are a lot of people who want to join Handmade Alpha Academy, but they don't know about my teaching style because my course teaching is very different than the content that we do on YouTube. It's structured completely differently. My tone is different. My pace is different. The style and the way that I teach is very different. So the masterclass is going to give you a little taste of how Handmade Alpha Academy is kind of laid out and what you can expect from it. But if you aren't planning on joining Handmade Alpha Academy, we've made sure that this webinar is going to teach you things that you can apply right after you complete the webinar. It isn't just, you know, a big waste of time, basically, like I've seen other webinars do. We actually teach you stuff that you can go and use for your Etsy shop. Not to mention, you guys get our swipe files at the end. Everybody's going to get a copy of those after the webinar concludes. So we always try to give you guys something free that you can enjoy afterwards, whether you decide to join Handmade Alpha Academy afterwards or not. So the link to that's down below. We cannot guarantee a replay just because tech happens, as you saw today. However, if a replay does become available, you will only receive a link to the replay if you're on that list. So even if you're not sure that you can make it live, be sure to sign up because you will get the replay link if it's available if you've signed up.
We're doing that. Where are we actually doing the webinar? That's going to be on YouTube, right?
YouTube private link.
Yeah, YouTube private link. So for the people that don't want to sign up for the email list and get to it, you will not be able to find the link to it or get to the YouTube live stream if you are not signed up for the email list to get that link.
Yeah,
you won't get a notification. You won't, even if you're subscribed, nothing like that.
Nope, it will be completely private to those who register only. That helps us to keep like spammers and stuff out of the webinar.
I got it to work on Google Chrome. Safari is a pain. There you go, Apple products. Anyway,
yeah.
If you guys don't know, I don't like Apple. Sometimes virus protection box, bit.ly links. Yeah.
Well, I put it in there if you guys want to grab it. Other thing, Handmade Alpha Academy, obviously it's open now. You guys can scroll through the comments if you want to see students talking about how great it is. If you can't trust our words, head into the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. It's free to join that. Links down below. Join our community, post in there and say, hey, I want to hear from Handmade Alpha Academy students. I want to know about XYZ. Here are my questions. I've already told my students that they have full permission to comment on any post. They can be as brutal as they want to be. All of my students that are here right now, you guys be as honest as you possibly can. Tell people exactly what you feel about Handmade Alpha Academy. You guys are welcome to comment on those posts. But if you have questions and you want to hear from students, that's there. Plus, there's also a really great testimonial video for Handmade Alpha Academy. If you click on our enrollment link down below with the little graduation cap beside it, watch the video if you want to hear from some of our students. And because that video is a little bit older, most of those students, especially Amber Marie, are significantly more successful now than they were when they recorded that video. There's also, if you scroll down the page a bit, there is a ton of testimonials from students. We're including 8 awesome bonuses for the course. One of those bonuses, you get 12 months of eRank Pro, which I pay for out of pocket for you guys. Even if you already have eRank Pro, your billing cycle will be put into my name for 12 months, and I will pay for you until June of 2021, which is normally $120 for a year of eRank Pro.
Yes.
So, and we're not like skipping out and giving you guys eRank Basic, even though that plan just came out.
eRank Pro.
We're giving you the best plan that eRank offers.
Yes.
So,
I sell SVGs, but HA would be good for me.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely, because you can sell more than one. Anyone from the UK. Whole crap load of them. Amber Marie was our Alpha of the Year last year, and she's from over the big Great Lake.
Yep. We have alphas all around the world. We even have an alpha
and Ham,
we've
obviously.
We've got an alpha in China, too, who's extremely successful.
We got alphas all over the world. I'm not going to say all over the world. I don't know if we have any in Africa, but I think we have one in every other continent, and except for the freezy ones. The free class codes to E-Rank Pro. No, you don't get E-Rank Pro for going to the masterclass, just for signing up for HA.
I can't pay $120 for every single alpha to have E-Rank Pro. Trust me, we're not rich, guys. We live in a little house. Our house is like the size of a trailer.
We survive. We like having nice things and all that.
And we also donate a butt ton of our money to organizations.
Yeah, as soon as this first 30 days over, I'm donating $2,500. So
to
the Planetary Society,
which helps in space exploration.
And they actually have it separated out now where you can donate to exactly what you want. You can donate to the research. You can donate to the people that do the podcast. You can donate to the people that do the actual space missions. So I'm going to donate to the people that do the space missions because the future is space.
Yeah. We also donate to the Wolf Conservation Center of South Salem, New York. If you ever shop any of our recommended books, those are Amazon affiliate links. And those links all go to our Amazon Affiliate Center where we donate 100% of the proceeds to the Wolf Conservation Center of South Salem, New York. We also did a really great live stream for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Is that what it's called?
Suicide Awareness, Suicide Prevention.
I think it's prevention. American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, and we raised like $1,000 for that one as well. And I hope to do another one soon because, as you guys know, I've lost a lot of friends to suicide, and
I'm from the military.
Yeah,
so
that was one that we did actually after a close friend of mine. It was like a week after he had committed suicide. We decided to do that live stream for him and raise money for the foundation as well. So we try to give back where we can. We just can't pay for everybody to have E-Rank Pro.
Not unless you sign up.
Not unless you sign up.
Andrea, brutally honest, I've been in HA since the first launch, and it was worth every penny and all the hard work. My shop went from a couple sales each week to 5-figure months. Awesome. Just not the Human League. There you go. And I think that'll be our closing note. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. Click the little bell icon if you want to get notified every time we go live or we upload a video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs up anyway. And we'll see you guys next week. Love you guys.
Bye, guys. Oh, if you have questions, email me at starla@handmadealphaacademy.com if you need to know if HAA is right for you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Boink. Look at